everyone and welcome to this week's Assembly. We hope you've had a lovely week so far. We're going to start off this week with our Seesaw Superstars, followed by our Choice of the Week. We then have some French with Miss Healy, and then Mr McHugh is going to speak to you about Advent. Mrs Reid and the Makaton Champions have also prepared a little video that they wanted to share with you, and finally we will have an update from our digital leaders. So let's get started. So this week on Seesaw we have had 554 posts added, 214 comments and 816 likes of student work. We've also had 115 visits by family members. So let's have a look at the amazing work that you've been uploading on Seesaw this week. So it's now time for Choice of the Week. It could be a joke or a random fact. It might be an On This Day or a news story. It might be a quote of the week or a sports fact, or it could be a movie or music clip or a Guess Who. So this week it's an On This Day, and on this day in 1789 it was the very first National Thanksgiving. And in this little clip that we're going to watch, we will find out what Thanksgiving is, why it's celebrated, and how families in America celebrate it together.
In the US, a day that is celebrated by many Americans each year. So what is it all about? Passengers known as pilgrims first travelled over the Atlantic Ocean from Plymouth in England all the way to Cape Cod in Massachusetts in what is now known as the US. They travelled on a boat that is now famously known as the Mayflower.
I think the passengers on the Mayflower were scared and unsure of what was going to happen. The Mayflower is important to Americans because it symbolizes the freedom which was the foundation to finding America.
I think the Mayflower is important to Americans because it's a part of freedom, it's part of our community, and whenever there's a festival, it's always next to the Mayflower.
There had been a difficult relationship between the newcomers to the country, the Pilgrims, and the Native Americans who already lived there. The Pilgrims had had trouble growing enough food to eat in the years before, and the Native Americans had taught the Pilgrims how to grow crops successfully. In 1621, to thank them for this, the Pilgrims invited them to a big feast to repay the favour. The day is now celebrated each year by inviting family members round for a huge feast.
Thanksgiving is celebrated to show that we are thankful for family, friends, and good health.
This year, however, will be a little bit different, but I still have so much to be thankful for, like my family, friends, teachers, and my new puppy, just to name a few.
So this week, Miss Haley is going to explore how to say and describe your emotions in French.
Bonjour tout le monde. Aujourd'hui, nous allons apprendre à dire comment vous vous sentez en français. Regardez et écoutez la petite histoire. Au revoir, à bientôt.
Parfois, je me sens. Comment te sens-tu? Parfois, je m'ennuie. Et parfois, je me sens seule. Parfois, je suis très heureux. Et parfois, je me sens triste. Parfois, je ressens de la colère. Et parfois, de la culpabilité. Parfois, je suis curieux. Et alors, je suis surpris. Quelquefois, je suis sûre de moi. Mais je suis aussi timide parfois. Il m'arrive d'être inquiet. Mais le plus souvent, je suis tout foufou. Parfois, je me sens affamée. Et parfois, je me sens rassasiée. Comment te sens-tu, toi ?
So this Sunday marks the first Sunday of Advent, and Mr. McHugh has prepared a video to share with you for this week's assembly.
Good afternoon, boys and girls. This Sunday, we will celebrate the first Sunday of Advent. Today, we're going to learn about why Advent is an important time of preparation for Christmas. We will learn what Jesus meant when he said, "Your freedom is near at hand." We will know why Advent is an important time of preparation for Christmas, and we will be able to give one way in which we can be free of fear. Today, we are celebrating the first Sunday of Advent, the period of preparation for the wonderful feast of Christmas. Everyone is beginning to make preparations. We see Christmas posters and displays of presents in the shops, and we wonder what we would like to have and what we can give. We think about who we are giving to. We want to give to our families and friends, and we are planning to treat ourselves. You may be talking about all the toys and gifts you'd like to receive and what you would like to give to others. However, we have to think about how we can treat Jesus, because it is his birthday we are celebrating. Let us listen to what Jesus tells us in this Sunday's Advent Gospel. Stand tall, hold your heads high, because your freedom is near at hand. Watch yourselves, or your hearts will be hardened with selfishness and greed and the cares of life, and that day will be sprung on you suddenly like a trap. Stay awake, praying at all times for the strength to survive all that is going to happen and to stand with confidence before the Son of Man. This is the gospel of the Lord. Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ. In today's gospel, Jesus tells us that we must watch that we do not get sucked into situations in which we will find ourselves in a sort of prison, stuck because we cannot get out of our bad habits. Perhaps we find it hard not to be greedy. Maybe we eat too many sweets. Do we share what we have? Maybe we are lazy. We do not do our homework or help at home when we are asked. Maybe we do not care for others as we should. Perhaps we rush around and do not give time for old people or those who find it hard to move. What about the times when hurtful things are said about someone, or when you may draw someone an unkind look? These things can get you trapped into being selfish, thinking about only yourself and forgetting to share or say sorry. Let us listen to how Jesus tells us to watch out so we can be free of being trapped. Some people in the world are not as lucky as we are. They are not free from fear. They may live in a war-torn country like Afghanistan. Perhaps people are forced to run and hide from those who want to control them and take things from them, as in Zimbabwe. Even in our country, some children are not loved. They may be neglected and abused. Maybe there are families who are sad because people in the family are lonely or may suffer from sickness. They may be trapped by addiction to drugs or alcohol, or they may be trapped by money. Let us think quietly about one area or situation where God's love and comfort are needed, where people could be freed from fear. Can you say a prayer to Jesus in your heart for someone who needs help? There are 3 ways in which we can make sure we give Jesus our gifts this Christmas: through prayer, by giving up being selfish, and by helping others. We can pray by talking to God in our heart, lighting a candle with our family to pray at home, reading a story about Jesus, or by going to Mass. We can give up our time to help other people in the playground who are alone. We can give up TV to help others at home, or we can give up our pocket money to help the poor. Can you think of anything else that you can give up? We can help others, children in school, perhaps those who are lonely or younger. We can help others at home, do something straight away when asked, homework, do the dishes, switch off the TV, and get ready for bed. We could also think of an enterprise activity to raise money for those in need in other countries. How can you make a difference to help others to be free from fear? Could you talk about this at a pupil council meeting and agree on something we can do together for the next 4 weeks before Christmas? As this is the first week of Advent, that special time in which we prepare to celebrate the birth of Jesus, in this season of Advent, we use the Advent wreath as a special sign that reminds us, by its evergreen circle, of God's endless love for us and God's life in us. These 3 purple candles remind us of our waiting, longing, and preparation for Jesus' coming at Christmas. The pink candle reminds us of the joy and hope that will replace our longing as we celebrate the birth of Jesus at Christmas. The white candle is the sign of Jesus' birth and the new life that comes to us through his death and resurrection. This week, we light the first candle of the Advent wreath as a sign of waiting.
Now, last week, hopefully, you had a chance to practice some of your Makaton greetings because it's been a wee while since we last had a go at them during our assembly. And we have a very special treat prepared by Mrs. Reid and the Makaton champions for this week. So we hope you enjoy it.
We are champions!
In St Stephen's and St Kevin's, most of staff are trained in using Makaton.
According to the Makaton charity, Makaton is a unique language that uses signs, symbols, and speech to enable people to communicate. Everything in life needs a communication skill. Makaton can help people who find communication tricky to express their needs and wants to understand others.
This year we want to learn some Makaton and help other people to learn it through assembly and classes, demonstrations, and raise awareness with information around the school.
Starting with an easy song, here are the signs you need to join in.
Farm.
Cow.
Pig. Dog.
Duck.
Cat.
Donkey.
Old MacDonald.
On.
E-I-E-I-O.
E-I-E-I-O. And on the farm he had a cow. E-I-E-I-O. With a moo-moo here and a moo-moo there. Here a moo, there a moo, everywhere a moo-moo. Old MacDonald had a farm. E-I-E-I-O. And on the
Over the past few weeks, I have been able to meet with some of our digital leaders who are very, very excited to be leading digital learning across the school. Last week and the week before, we met together and discussed 3 things that we wanted to get better at and to improve across the school. The digital leaders then had a think about how they would achieve those 3 things, and to display their ideas, they used the Keynote app on their iPads to create a little sketch note. And in the next video, they're going to explain exactly what the 3 things are that they want to improve in our school. And then they're going to tell you about how they're going to achieve them.
I'm Lucy.
And I'm Ebian, and we're the digital leaders.
This is a digital improvement plan. Digital leaders lead in learning, supporting classes, supporting teachers and support staff, and also making videos.
We've also been managing our digital resources by digital leaders on a rota, sharing resources and being responsible of resources.
Partnership working with different families, working with different visitors, working with St Roch's and working with the nursery. Bye!